Ladies, first, it's great to see you.
So good to see
But
you.
Yeah.
always a pleasure to see you. But look, let's get right to this. What the hell is going on here? Why am I seeing just two? I have been waiting weeks since I saw this email and I saw the picture. And I'm going, what is going on with one of my all-time favorite groups here?
Uh, yeah, there's been a little bit of a shakeup.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit.
We call it budget cuts. How's that sound?
Ah, look, I've already seen way too many budget cuts in this industry.
I
Let's
know.
get
I
to the
know.
nitty gritty with all the fans are like clamoring.
I
What
know.
is going on with
You
Nice
know,
Horse?
we will
Go.
tell you, we are now a duo. Tara and Krista, they had their hearts headed in other directions. And of course, like we want to support them and what they want to do. And we wanted to keep doing this. And so honestly, it's like there's no tea, there's no drama. It was just like Tara got really busy with her metal band Kitty. And it was like she should absolutely pursue that. We know her heart's in metal. And so she's doing that. And Krista has always had a love for the behind the scenes stuff. That's been more where her heart lies. And so that gave her an opportunity to step back and go do that. And for Brandy and I, our hearts lie in Nice Horse. And so we didn't want to stop. And so we were like, let's keep it going. And so it was like group hug and off we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
I
okay?
I had to
You
breathe.
dog. But you do look like Katie and I have looked like in the transition at times because no, this is the thing is like no matter how like how well-meaning and amicable breakups are still breakups. They're hard, right? Like we spend so much time together and you do so much work together and you are permanently bonded by that. And so
Mhm.
there's always like some natural emotions that you go through and like and it's just like and we were a pretty well-oiled machine as four like and now
Yeah.
the with Katie as Katie said with the budget cuts now it's down to two doing doing the same amount of work. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like um there's it's breakups are always tough. There's always going to be tough things about them, but I mean like now we'll just have a ton of heartbroken things to write about.
Yeah.
That's true. But I mean, first off, as a fan of the four of you, and now of course fan of the two of you, um, this is heartbreaking for me because you two aren't the only ones. There have been several other bands, including Mono Whales, who have just recently broken up. And I'm just going, what is going on with my favorite bands who I've been with from day one or feel like I've been with from
And you
day
know what?
one and seeing these changes happening?
To be honest, Rudy, like I like this is I think for a lot of bands, and I know that this has like, the pandemic really forced a lot of people to reevaluate where they belonged in music and where music belonged in their life.
Mhm.
And I think we all know that we all like it was a real struggle in the arts industry throughout that time. And I think honestly, what a lot of that is like some delayed effects
Mhm.
from like, we
I
had
would agree.
everyone had their nose down in during the pandemic, being like, okay, how do we make it through? How do we make it through? But it really does like that's emotional wear and tear on anybody.
Mhm.
And it just and it I think it kind of causes people to go two ways. Like they either decide it's not for them or they decide that this is the only thing for them. There's no other thing to do. And
Yeah.
for Katie and I, this nice horse was our thing to do. We couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
I, I'm happy to hear that. My heart still breaks, but that makes absolute sense. It's funny. I was just talking to Classified because he just released a new album, and
Mm.
we talked about COVID, and we talked about what COVID did in relationships to so many people. So hearing what you're saying makes so much sense. So what was it like for the two of you to have a sit down chat with each other to go, are we going to do this? Okay. How are we going to go about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the are we was happened faster than the how.
Yeah, we agreed right then and there that we wanted to keep going, but like it was, I mean, it happened suddenly and it happened fast and I've said this multiple times that like I know I agreed to it, but I don't actually remember the phone call that day between Brandy and I. I can't tell you where I was. I can't tell you if I was sitting, if I was standing, what we said. Like, I think I was in such a state of kind of shock. And also, like, I don't know, but it really hit me in a way that I'm like, I don't even remember that conversation. And then before I knew it, we were dividing up new tasks and discussing how the photo shoots were going to go and how the album release was going to go. And I was like, oh, right, because we agreed to do this. But it was, but again, it's things can be a positive, but like Brandi said, they can be a positive and a difficult thing all at the
Yeah.
same time. And I just know that Brandi and I, we love this record. We poured years. You talk about the pandemic and what it did, and it's like that pandemic was hard on everybody, and we can put ourselves in that category of it was really hard on us, and it did a lot of damage for us, like individually, and I think like it was hard as a band to get through it. And but one of the things that Brandi and I did was we just kept writing and we just kept writing. And these songs that are on this record are only some of hundreds that we wrote during that time. And we love these songs. These songs come from our heart, and we didn't want them to just fade away. We feel like people need to hear them.
And I think that like songwriting for Katie and I during the pandemic almost became like this artistic survival tactic for us. Like we, because we are always like in music, we're always like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? Like we're always moving forward musically and artistically. And then when things kind of reached the stalemate, this writing was the one thing we could do. We could get on Zoom, we could write with people, we could write ourselves. It was the thing we did, and it was almost like became a little obsessive at like with how much writing we had done over the last few years. And I feel like as hard as that was, and as broken as it has left many of us along the way, I feel like I kind of emerged from the pandemic as a stronger writer that's better able to have to get what we want to say out through these songs.
How have fans been reacting to the change?
Honestly, very positively.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because you've known us from the start, you're one of the ones that this actually probably did hit harder than most, to be totally honest.
Yes.
Because I remember our very, very first interview with you. You have seen us through a lot of changes.
Absolutely.
And so I can understand why that affected you. But most people, honestly, the reaction was like, I really like this for you guys. On we go. Like that was about it, and also like with all the love and care towards Krista and Tara. But most people, here's how I often liken it, is that when people watch, say, a race, like a marathon, and somebody's running and that person falls, everybody is cheering twice as hard for that person when they get up and they keep going. And I have felt that sentiment towards Brandi and I. They watched us fall, but we got up and we kept going. And so it feels like the rallying behind us is even stronger because they're seeing two people not willing to give up. And that, it has brought tears to my eyes at some of the ways in which people have supported us moving forward as too.
Yeah, and I feel like we've always had that underdog mentality throughout our careers. Like Katie and I have spent so much of our career previous to Nice Horse, especially like doing like DIY music projects where we just would keep going, and like through the good and the bad and the ugly, and lots of it can be bad and ugly. And I think we've felt that way, and obviously like in the country music industry, like as women who are sometimes, we're not as represented, we really have learned to to be present and be like, and we've gotta I don't want to say fight, because it's not a fight. It's
Determination.
it's just determination. Absolutely.
Perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use that word termination because that sounds too final. I love what you guys are doing. Guys, what am I saying? Ladies, I'm using all wrong. I'm emotional about this because I've been thinking about this ever since I've got the email. And I mean, I love the fact that the two of you are moving forward with this. And I'm gonna miss the four of you, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the two of you have in store for us. And you've mentioned about music and album, let's concentrate on that right now. What are we looking at here? What kind of album are we looking at? When is this album going to be released? Have we released new music? What is going on with the new edition of Nice Horse?
Yeah, we just released that new album. It came out
April 19th.
April 19th.
Mhm.
Thank you. We're so proud of it. Again, it's something that was already in the works, and it's honestly being met. We haven't released a full EP since 2017, and it honestly, you talk about like the pandemic and the things that it affected, and we've been trying to record and get this out since 2020, and so yeah, that's how long it took through a variety of situations that were beyond our control.
Yeah, perseverance is right.
Yeah, you want to talk about perseverance. Brandi and I were talking about it yesterday, and we were like, oh, the movie and the behind the scenes special of what happened in those 4 years is quite compelling, quite heartbreaking, but a story of determination and perseverance. And but yeah, and so we're really proud of this record. It is being received so well that it was emotional the day it came out. I was in Nashville and I took a drive and I listened to it and I cried. Cause I was like, we did it. We got this out there for people, and it's making me cry still. Like, yeah. So it's exciting. Like times are exciting. Like there's the change, but I feel like we have propelled pretty quickly for two people who had to bounce back really fast. And it seems like the industry is and our fans are really supporting this.
What's the single out right now?
It's a song called "Running Out of Reasons."
Wow, interesting title. Should I even ask what it's about? That title says it all.
I know.
I mean, literally, there are like this album is really like it is very autobiographical for Katie and I, and there are some songs that I think really like some songs that really resonate with Katie a little more personally, and then some that resonate with me a little more personally. But I think Running Out of Reasons, and there's a few thematically that fall into this category on this record, and Running Out of Reasons is one of them, and that's Impulse Control. Of which I think
Oh my
sometimes
gosh.
Katie and I both struggle with. And it is truly that. It's like the impulse control of trying to come up with a reason not to do the thing that you really do want to do. It's like, don't pick up the phone, don't call that person. They're not good for you. Try to find another reason, because you gotta fight that impulse to just pick up the phone and call them.
Okay, so we're in the summer season now, spring, summer season. Tours are happening.
Yeah.
Have you been? Oh, I saw the big smile. I saw the eyes lit up. So we are talking about shows and tours. What's going on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're a live band, like all the way. Like we love the live show, and we love being out there touring.
Yeah, and we've got shows literally coast to coast. We're playing from Sunfest on Vancouver Island to Cavendish Beach in Prince Edward Island, and like almost everywhere in between. It's really exciting is we get to open up for the one and only Jody Messina. I know. What, that was our face too. So we're doing that in Regina this summer. It's just one show, but hopefully one leads to more. But yeah, so it's a busy summer.
You two are the perfect example. I mean, okay, so we're talking about COVID, and we talk about how things have not gone well with a lot of people. You two are the perfect example of taking a bad situation and turning it into an amazing future, present and future.
Thanks, Rudy. And that's really nice of you to say.
I hope you're right.
No, I absolutely believe that. What advice can you give folks who are still feeling like they're on the other end? How do they end up on this end of their journey?
I mean, it seems to be the theme of this conversation. It's that perseverance. Sometimes I think it's survival of the fittest, almost like just keep going. We all went through the pandemic together.
Yeah.
Really, the whole globe did, and every musician got, from us to Dolly Parton, we're stuck at home, and so I think some people navigated it differently than others, and I think I actually think we are a perfect example of a band that really got hit hard by it. Some didn't as much. They were just in maybe that lucky cycle of not needing to do anything. We were right about to do stuff. We were an act saying
I remember
our year.
Yeah. And so, and so 2020 was our year, turned into 2024 is our year. But like, sometimes I look at some of the things that happened and I think that they were going to happen anyways. And so I'm kind of, in a sense, I have found myself full of gratitude that we are where we're at now and that some of these things didn't happen before, because I think some of where we're at now was going to happen anyways.
Well, and there's a song on the record that really does kind of have this idea behind it, and it's a song called Waves, and it's that like
Oh,
sometimes I feel
I
like
love it.
this is like this the idea of like find a friend, because like, and really find someone that you can like support each other, because I know there's been many times during the pandemic where like I would be like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, I'm not fine. And and often with Katie and I, we're feeling those on different cycles. Like when I'm on that upswing, maybe something is going where Katie is like, I'm struggling here. And then it's like, if you're doing this, you have somebody able to support you at all times. And I think that was really a big thing that got us through it. There was many times, like it's been a very difficult 4 years getting this record out, and we just had so much crushing heartbreak. And some days I was like, should I be doing this? And then Katie would be like, no, we're doing this. Like, why would we not do this? And then the same thing for Katie. Like, we all have weak moments. Those are supernatural. And I feel like that's what people need to realize, is that everybody has those weak moments. I was talking to an artist the other day. I went out for breakfast with them in Nashville, and she's a great emerging artist. And she was like so crushed because she had applied for something that she did not get, and she was so crushed and she was feeling really embarrassed. And I said to her, nice horse has applied for that 3 times and has not gotten it too. So it's like those things that's fine. There's like, and she was shocked because she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, you guys have CCMAs and you guys have done this, and it's just those, everyone experiences the disappointment. Everyone.
And I think that's where social media gets you down, right?
Yeah.
Is because you look always like somebody's doing something better than me. Somebody's doing something better
The
than me.
highlight reel.
Yeah, somebody got the record deal, somebody got the poster, somebody got the this, somebody got that, and then you're like, oh, I didn't do it. I guess maybe we're not doing good enough and we're not doing enough. And it's like everybody is going through the celebrations and the hard times. And it's just like remembering that, like you said, that it's sometimes put that phone away and go look at the things that you have accomplished.
Oh, you know what? It's something I definitely live by now, and appreciate what I actually have, because what I have, I know there's somebody else who wishes they had that because they may have less. So you're absolutely bang on with that too. I am so happy for the both of you. That you kept this great entity going. You guys knew from day one, I was big fans of the 4 of you. Now I'm even bigger fans of the 2 of you, because the both of you are such inspirations, not just in this music industry, but just in life in general. Like you guys are proving so much, and no matter what happens in the future, you guys have rocked it, man. You guys have done it. Like, I'm so happy for the both of you.
And it means so much that you say that, because it's not just about the music for us. Like we've always, like, we want to be good people. It's like, you find it's easy to not treat people well. That's easy. Like it's hard to be a good person and move through life. And we want to be continually doing that, because we want to be able to make the music we want to make and have people listen to it. But we also want to be able to get up in the morning and be like, yeah, we're really proud of not just what we've done musically, but what we've done as humans.
Okay. Is there new merch going to be coming out?
Yes.
Oh my
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Where are they?
Oh. Do we have some over there? Because I was going to say, now the old stuff you could consider collector's items.
Yeah,
exactly.
Those are collector's items. But now this is a future collector item.
Vinyl.
And you know, I love my vinyl. I love my,
right? Yeah. And
Oh man.
Look at these
Oh,
horse
sweet.
pins.
Oh, you know what? The fun continues with you too. Oh my good. You know, that was the one thing. It's funny when I saw the email and everything. One of the things I was worried about was because the four of you had such great energy, whether it be on stage, whether it was off stage, whether you guys were coming around the corner. I was a little bit afraid maybe that energy would be gone. The energy is still there. That positive, fun energy of nice horses I knew from day one is still there. That I'm so happy about. Oh my God,
We're
I'm so happy
still
about
here,
that.
baby, still here.
Fantastic. Look, before we wrap this up, what do you want to say to the fans who are like me learning to go through this transition with the both of you? What do you want to say to them?
I think just to thank them for for
Yeah.
being there, for getting to know us through that,
Yeah.
and sticking around through this.
Yeah, and give Krista and Tara all the love you can,
Yeah.
because we love them too. And Nice Horse may be half the horses, but we're still the same amount of horsepower.
Yeah.
And you never know. Reunions are a big thing. So you never know if that's going to pop up at some time in one of your tours.
Well, Krista lives 10 blocks down the road, and Tara lives 20 blocks down the road. So look, the reunions are literally, they happen every week usually.
I love it. Big love to the both of you. Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for letting me get my emotions out. And thank you for letting me continually follow and be part of this journey. I hope you guys are doing a documentary on this because we want to
I
see
literally
this.
was going to tell you, like, the last thing that I will say is that that's exactly it. And I have had this conversation because I have said, we have been saying it for a long time that we're like, this is a movie. Like, this
Yeah.
could be a movie. And I was talking to somebody about that when Brandi and I made this decision to move forward. And I said, I don't know, maybe we should switch this up and make it a movie. And he was like, no, your story's not done yet, but it will make one hell of a movie when it is. And I
Yeah,
was like,
definitely. Definitely. Love the both of you. Congratulations.
Love you too.
Thanks, Rudy.